Hey folks, these are the first 3 of the Mega Bloks Destiny figure customizer packs. On the left is the Hunter Cryptid Armory. In the center is the Hunter Starwinder, or is it Starwinder Armory? Till I hear it pronounced in universe, I'm not going to say there's any such thing as a correct pronunciation for it. And on the right is the Warlock Samsara Armory. Now, to be clear, each of these is sold separately. So when you get just one of the set, you put together that, for example. The names, I think, are fairly arbitrary because, for instance, this one is called Cryptid Armory. The helmet could be seen as Cryptid, but I think most of the stuff that this hunter is wearing is not Cryptid stuff. I think they just wanted to bring in some names from the game and just kind of spread them out between these packs. Nice little stands. This makes for a really cool display. You do have to put this stuff together. It has a bunch of kind of trans black, slightly smoky colored pieces holding things up. It's done very efficiently. Each one is set up in the same way. 3 different weapon options, and you get one figure plus a handful of items to kind of transform that figure a little bit, or their appearance. I bought 2 of each of these so that I could show you both versions of the figure side by side in each case. So here are the 2 options for the Hunter Cryptid Armory. Again, just to be very, very clear, you only get one figure, one actual body, and then they just give you a handful of small pieces you can swap out. But I wanted to let you see both options together. Not a whole lot that's changed between these, but of course with any one figure you can swap out different parts. So you could put on just this shoulder armor piece with all the other gold stuff if you want to, pop and swap as you want. But in this case you don't really have to do much popping, just for the leg. You have to take that off in order to change out the little ammo band there. Each of these sets comes with a ghost that's mostly just a basic, generalist kind of shell, just your most plain one. But they do change out this inner clip piece, so you kind of get a different color of eye. So this one here gets the light blue color. This set comes with a bright silver revolver, kind of gunmetal gray shotgun, and the hunter's bow. This bow design is actually really nice because you have to string it up yourself with this silicone rubber string, and you can actually draw, so you can move the arrow back and forth, and you can actually hook the string onto it and then charge that up if you want to. And they set this up so that it actually works out pretty well with the figure in its hands. See, look at that. You can properly draw back against it, and you have enough friction in there. Well, you have enough articulation with the figure to be able to get that kind of pose, and you have enough friction in the joints and the way that they're lined up that you can actually hold it with tension in the line. Next up, the Starwinder, or Starwinder, however you want to pronounce it. I personally have not run a hunter. I have not played a hunter in-game as of the time of the recording of this video since 2014. I will come back to it, but right now I'm still maining my Warlock, and I've got a Titan up to 334. Once I get that to 335, I'll move on to my hunter. But I say that just to note that I don't recognize hunter-specific gear very well. I'm a lot more familiar with Warlock stuff and starting to become more familiar with Titan stuff. But I did look up some of the Starwinder stuff, and I don't see much here that comes from that particular armory, that particular in-universe line. But again, I think that they were going fairly arbitrary and just assigning a manufacturer name to each of these sets. Now, these 2 armor set options go together much better than the pairs in the other 2 sets, because both of these are using, I believe, New Monarchy shaders, which they have a very limited palette, and as a result you can mix and match stuff here very easily and it won't look too mixed. Notice that there is paint on the body underneath there. That's a nice little paint application. This one has the ghost with the purple center clip, so you get kind of a purple colored eye. It is a little bit dark, so you don't see too much of that color actually coming through. But I think both of these are good. They're nice, but they're close to each other. I think that they are ideal really for mixing and matching, putting different stuff together. But you don't see a whole lot different between these two from any kind of distance, more than mostly just the color in the chest. That's the biggest thing that really stands out. The weapon selection in this one is pretty nice too, with a gunmetal gray auto rifle, one of those high impact style of sniper rifles, and then a nice copper colored rocket launcher, although it's just copper. Would have been nice to get a secondary color in that one also, just to kind of break it up a little bit. Last but not least, this is the Samsara armory for the Warlock, which I believe does feature one Samsara piece in the form of that alternate helmet over there, but this one is just all about the faction loyalty and patriotism. Now I'll tell you, I'm not a big fan of the Future War Cult stuff in game, just in general. I think I do run a random drop version of one of their fusion rifles, but their shaders are just so loud and bright and colorful. It's just over the top to me. However, that said, Mega Bloks has made a really nice figure here that looks really good on display, with a lot of colors applied to it. I feel like that's the most objectively valuable figure out of these 3 sets so far, just because so much work had to be put into printing it and painting it. One of the nicest things that they did is the helmet here, which has really good outlining within it around the visor, something they do way too little of in general, but I'm glad they did it, and they did it pretty well here. Also, on the top, Future War Cult logo printed right there, and that's some pretty fine printing. So maybe they have upgraded their techniques a bit. I mean, if you look around, you will see little spots where things went beyond their masks and such, but on the whole, for something that is mass produced, I think they've done a very good job here. The red here does show through for the eye of the ghost quite thoroughly, quite well. And on the right, dead orbit, got the this is the heliopause style helmet here, and then you got the heliopause style robes. Now the bond on this one is really nicely printed, the option on the right. Again, very fine, small printing, and the detail came through well there. Also have good printing around the back. Look at that. Those lines are nice and crisp. Not perfect around the base of the ropes here, but this is flexible stuff. So that's able to flex around for mounting on vehicles and such. Of course, this can as well, but I think the larger the piece, with all that texture on there, it becomes much harder to do a good paint application. I'm not sure exactly what's going on just right here. That might be a little bit of a mistake. The other side looks much better. But overall, I think both of these look good, but the Future War Cult arrangement there just takes top marks in my eyes. For weapons, this set includes another revolver, and this one has a paint application on it, so it's gunmetal gray as the base color, and then they add some kind of dark orange on top of that. Another sniper rifle, this one is bright silver. Really wish that one had a paint application because, again, just all one solid color sometimes doesn't work out so well to the eye. It feels like it's unfinished. In a darker color, though, something like this machine gun, the gunmetal gray, that looks just fine. Now notice, this is just a slightly lighter gunmetal gray. This is like the medium gunmetal compared to the revolver, which is a darker color if you look at those at the same time. These types of packs, I think, are exactly what Mega Bloks needs to continue to do. Giving fans the ability to get just a single figure at a time, and having the extra options in there just is a really good thing, because you want to be able to customize things a little bit more. And they just need to come up with more colors and more different options, especially colors, because most fans are going to want to just replicate their own actual guardians in this form. But it's nice to have extras as well. But more colors is better. And also, where's the Titan? That's not cool. I mean, Titans, they can be a pain sometimes, but they're guardians too. They should have been represented here. If you're going to do 3 sets, there are 3 different classes. Do one for each class, I think. So the names are a little bit arbitrary. Some very fine details of the execution of these are a little bit off, and they should have gone with a Titan for one of these, but overall I'm very happy with this concept and what they're doing with these, and I hope to see many more in the future. That's it for my thoughts on these though. Now it is your turn to share what you think about these by leaving a quick little comment down below. Thank you in advance for your feedback, and other viewers appreciate seeing different people's opinions as well. I will be talking to you again very soon because my next video is on the way.